The United States is shaking off years of doubt, opening their group stage with a 4-1 win over Paraguay and a 2-0 shutout against Australia. This momentum is fueled by home field advantage. In cities like Los Angeles and Seattle, the U.S. is playing in stadiums where their own supporters fill every single seat. These results are starting to shift the conversation from whether the team can compete to whether they can actually win the trophy. But these early wins may be a mirage. The knockout stage will either cement this squad as legends or expose the same vulnerabilities that have kept the U.S. from a semi-final for nearly a century. While home crowds provide energy, they also generate a unique psychological weight. For a host nation, the stadium can quickly turn from a sanctuary into a pressure cooker. Historical precedent is brutal. In 2006, Germany hosted the World Cup with one goal, winning it all. They fell short, finishing in third place. Portugal faced the same heartbreak during the 2004 Euros, losing the final in front of a home crowd that expected nothing less than a title. The United States hasn't reached a quarterfinal since 2002. For over 2 decades, the round of 16 has been the ceiling for the American program. Success in 2026 requires psychological fortitude as much as physical talent. The squad has to survive the massive expectations they've helped create. To break that 24-year streak, the U.S. hired head coach Mauricio Pochettino. He's a tactician who reached a Champions League final by building teams that prioritize aggressive, high-tempo attacking football. He's working with a young offensive core. Strikers Balogun and Ricardo Pepi have combined for 13 goals at the club level since mid-February, providing the finishing touch the U.S. has often lacked. Defensively, the structure relies on Tyler Adams. His 40 tackles in the Premier League this season demonstrate the high-volume ball-winning capability needed to protect the back line. They are supported by a midfield with elite experience, including Weston McKennie, who was coming off a career-best season at Juventus. This roster features more players holding regular roles in top European leagues than any previous U.S. cycle, creating a higher ceiling for the team's tactical potential. Winning Group D leads directly into a round of 32 clash with a traditional giant, potentially France, Germany, or Argentina. The math is unforgiving. Supercomputer models place American winning odds at just over 1%, while Spain and France sit in double digits. If those games go the distance, the U.S. faces a statistical anomaly. They've played more knockout games than any other nation in World Cup history without ever reaching a penalty shootout. While these players face pressure in European club cups, the national team has no collective experience in a World Cup shootout. They have historically lost in regulation or extra time before reaching that final test of nerves. Talent alone won't matter if the bracket forces the U.S. into a high-stakes shootout, where they have zero historical success to build on. And yet, football logic can be defied. In 2022, Morocco became the first African nation to reach a semifinal by eliminating 3 of the highest-ranked teams in Europe. Deep tournament runs usually require one specific player to elevate their game when the tactical system is pushed to its limit. For Argentina, it's Lionel Messi. For France, it's Kylian Mbappe. For England, it's Harry Kane. If the U.S. is going to break through the round of 16, they must identify the player who can shoulder that same knockout burden. For the U.S., that player is Balogun. His background, born in New York, raised in London, and developed in France, makes him the bridge between American identity and European quality. But while several veterans remain from the 2022 cycle, the current attack is now led by Balogun, a striker who has never played a minute of a World Cup knockout match. This squad is walking into its most difficult trial, and they are doing it entirely exposed in front of a global audience. This scenario is primed to become either a historic American sporting breakthrough or a devastatingly public exit. It's time to choose a side. Does this team reach the semis, or is another round of 16 exit inevitable? Drop your vote below and subscribe. Next, I'm breaking down the one dark horse team that nobody is respecting.